we're doing today, we are painting a 1969 GTO. And what we're going to learn today is we're going to learn a few tech tips on taping. And when I say taping, I'm talking about taping the car off. We're talking about a car that has already been painted. This car's already been painted, and this will apply to a car that you might be painting where you don't dismantle the car to paint it. But actually, you got to paint the whole car. Let's go look at it, and I'll explain what I'm talking about.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So before we go any further, what you got going here is a aftermarket hood that's going on this car. Now we're going to paint this hood separately off the vehicle because we're going to get a better high quality paint job than if we painted it with the car itself. Now I've already painted the back side of the hood, and this is kind of a two-tone paint job. You can see where the back of the hood is black, and then I'm going to tape it off to where I can paint all the jambs on it. So that's another reason we got to paint this off the car, because we got to get all the edges of the hood painted to match the color of the vehicle. So that basically has to be painted off the car. There's really no way out of it. So by doing that, what we got here is we got exposed engine compartments, and we also got exposed edges right here. You see what I'm talking about? Now we're not going to paint any of this inside of this edge here. Alright, the inside of the edge will not be painted. The only thing that's going to be painted is the outside of the car. So since we have the hood off, what I will do is I will find a cutoff point on the fenders that I can go ahead and blend that paint into and then clear coat it. And the point that I'm looking at is right here. See that corner right there? What we'll do is we'll take some 2-inch tape and we'll run it all the way across. And then of course we'll tape off the windshield with it and all the engine compartment. But when I paint this car on the front end of it, the nose cap, I'm going to go ahead and blend that paint. And when I say blend, I'm going to paint it like this where it gets overspray. But then when I clear coat it, I'll clear coat it all the way to this line. Now, the most tricky part of taping a car off when you're painting the overall outside of the vehicle is the doors themselves. Because when you paint that, you don't want tape lines and you don't want overspray going in. You want to eliminate all that. So when you open the door up, it looks nice and natural to the eye when it's opened, and it gives it the effect that it's never been painted before. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some tech tips here and some tricks on how to tape off your door jamb. And you can see I already started on it. We're going to go over that product here in a second. And I'm going to show you kind of basically how to tape off the door. So when you paint this car, you won't have overspray. Like when you paint the car, you won't notice that this car was not painted torn down. It'll still give it an effect that it was a complete restoration instead of a redo on the paint job in question. Now, I believe I already have a video posted somewhere in the archives of all my YouTube videos where we can actually take 2-inch tape, and then what we'll do is we go ahead and tape along this line, and I want to show you that here. Let me get this off. We're going to start over with that angle, and then I'll clean this off because this stuff that I'm going to use actually works better. But a lot of people at home don't have the money or time to buy this product because it is very expensive. So let me get my camera over here, and then I'm going to show you how to take your 2-inch tape to basically tape your door jamb of your car off. All right, now that we're on this side of the camera, the door's right here, and this is our door jamb. What you want to do is you're going to take your tape. Now, this is just a simulation. If we were actually going to take this off, I would literally take the tape and I'd run it all the way down and around. But what you'll do is you'll take your tape, and when you stick it on there, you're going to take half of it, just like this, and you're only going to tape half the jamb. And you'll do that all the way down the jamb, and then of course on the bottom. And then, once you get that taped off like that, what we'll do is we're going to fold this tape back. We're going to roll it back just like this. We're rolling our tape, and we are going past the line. So you want to make sure that it's a little bit, I would say probably a 1/16 of an inch or less, past the opening of the vehicle. Get my arm out of the way there. So now what you've done, you've created a block-off point. And then when we reach over here and we shut our door, all right, and this has brand new rubber in it, so there we go. You can see that it has blocked up our door jamb, and our door jamb is now prepped for paint. So that's one way that we can tape our jambs off so we don't get overspray in there, and it will manipulate the eye that you don't have a tape line there. Now, every process that I'm going to show you here, it's going to leave some type of tape line. It will not be 100% unseen. If you literally get down and start inspecting the car, you will see some type of line no matter what you use. So by using the tape, what we've done is we feathered that edge out, and we kept all that overspray from going in the jamb in this area and ruining our door jambs as we paint. The way that we're going to do it over here at SWRC D.I.Y. Auto School is we're going to use this product right here. Now what this product is, this is a soft edge foam masking tape. And what you're going to do with this is you are going to tape your jambs up with it. This will give it a very soft, mild edge that will be unseen mostly, not all the way. And it will give you an accurate paint job and a professional paint job all in one. To say that they make several different configurations of this tape, and this tape happens to be a tape that has several different sizes in it. And if you look right here, here's one, so we got that one there, and then when you come over here, this is the one we'll be using. You can see this is a little bit wider and it's a little bit flatter, and I'm going to show you how to apply this professionally, because a lot of times when you put this on, by the time you get all done taping up an overall paint job like this, you don't want to open the doors, and what happens is this actually really starts falling off, and then by the time you paint your door, your foam tape isn't on there properly, and you're going to get overspray in your jambs. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our foam tape, and let me get a good angle here. And the way that you use this is you take the backing off, of course, just like that. And then the sticky side of the tape, you can see there's a sticky side, that's going to go toward the outside. Now when I apply this, I'm going to go ahead and put it on where it's actually back a little bit. It's not going to be right on the edge, because when I shut that door and the foam hits, that'll squeeze that foam out and it will leave a line out here. So we got to go back approximately, I would say probably a 1/16 of an inch. So we're going to take our tape and try to be very careful not to touch the sticky part of your tape, your foam tape. And the reason for that is because once you touch it, it loses the stickiness of the tape. So we're going to come way up here like this, and then I'm just going to ride that down, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about about putting it approximately 1/16 of an inch into the jamb. You don't want to stick it down really tight at first because you're going to have to move that tape around to get it to fit properly. And I can see I went a little too far right here, so I'm going to pull it back and then I'll retape it. And what this tape will do, this will give it a nice soft blending edge that will give your eye the appearance that it's not painted. Now if you do look really hard, yes, you are going to see where this tape was. Now, do you see what's going on here? This tape is coming off, so what we're going to do to ensure that that doesn't fall off of there, and to also double protect our door jamb, we're going to go ahead and take our 2-inch tape, and we're going to actually literally tape that down to the jamb itself. Now, when you tape this down, you don't want to pull on that blue foam tape. You just want to lay it down on there and be able to tape it down just like you're seeing me do. So what we've done is we've now got a nice soft edge here, and we've covered this area where paint might possibly get through. Now, one more thing about using this tape is when you're applying it, don't stretch it out. Let it lay naturally down onto the jamb itself. Okay, so now we got that, so we're going to take our tape and then we'll tape this down nice and easy. You don't want to pull on your tape or push on it. You see how I'm doing this? I'm just using my finger, lightly taping it down, because when you push on the foam, what's going to happen is going to push it back. So you want to be really careful with that. And now the jamb of the vehicle is now taped off and ready for paint. Now, one other thing that I do personally is I take a piece of paper, and you can see it in here, and then I roll it up into a tube-like piece of paper, and then what I'll do is I'll stuff that in there, and then when the door closes on that, that will protect all this from getting any overspray on it. Once we're done painting the vehicle, I will then remove my tape. I will take some clear and I will add reducer to it, and then I will lightly spray clear and reducer in there, and then I'll take the gun and clean the clear out with raw reducer only, and then spray some reducer in there, and then what that does, that melts that all back and you'll never see any overspray. That's kind of hard to explain, but if you can kind of grasp the idea, yeah, that's what we do. Now, when you're using the foam tape method, it works very well, but you still have a chance of getting overspray inside here, and we don't want to do that. So the first thing you want to do on your door, let me get this here, is you want to wipe the surface off. Now, if your car is old and you're trying to put a fresh paint job on the outside, you're going to have to clean this up with wax and grease remover, possibly rubbing alcohol, because it's going to be full of dirt, grease, and grime. Since this was a classic restoration and it's been sitting in storage for about 8 or 9 years, not moving, we don't need to worry about that. But we're going to take a rag and we're going to clean this off. Now, I'm not going to put the tape on this edge right here. What I am going to do is I'm going to put it where the roll of that panel comes inside. I'm going to show you right here. You're going to take your tape and you're going to go past the bead, right at the edge of the bead, and we'll stuff that up in there. And then you're going to just run your tape right down that rolled edge. And then what that's going to do, that's going to protect our door, and it will blend the paint into this little 1/4 inch rolled bead that we got here where our door has rolled over. And then one more time, I'm going to take my tape, and then I'll just cover that one more time. And by using foam tape, that should be enough. We'll go ahead and cover this rubber while we're at it. since there isn't any felt channel in this car yet, to protect that rubber. We don't want to get any overspray on that, so we'll go ahead and cover that up. But if you had your felt channel installed on that, you wouldn't have to do this. And then of course we got to get the bottom of this door, because if you look right here, you can see there's rubber. All right, there's rubber that we don't want to get any overspray on. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to go on our pinch bead, our rolled bead. We're just going to cover that area just like this. And then once that is done properly, we now have a good taped off edge where it'll all blend in, and you'll never know that this car was painted before. I'll go ahead and take a little piece right here, just like that. All right. And then one more thing we're going to concentrate on is anywhere that you got chrome or paint that might blow down inside that, you want to go ahead and cover that as well. So I'm going to take some tape, just like that. And then we'll cover this area to make sure that we don't get any overspray on our rubber or chrome. There we go. When we paint the car. So you can see now by using the foam tape, you eliminate using many rolls of 2-inch tape, taping off your door jamb. There's a lot of people, they'll tape the whole jamb off with tape. I've seen that done before. I don't believe in that, and I don't think it's really necessary. And then they'll come over here and do the same thing on the door. I believe that's a waste of material and a waste of time to do that. And what is making it easy to do this way is using this stuff right here. And you can see what kind of soft edge we'll have when we paint this car. Now, I want to show you something, and here's a good example. We're still okay right here, but you can see by taping that off and pulling on that tape, and by the foam stretching, you can see that it's tried to pull away from that edge. But that's all right, because it's going to be a soft edge and it'll all blend in. As I was rolling the window up, there was one more crucial area that I want to put some tape on. And even though I got the foam tape here, there's still going to be a small gap. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and tape this off as well. And I'm going to feel in there. I'm going to find that pinch, that rolled edge, and I want to take that off. And then of course we're going to go ahead and get our rubber. So this kind of gives you an idea that when you take your car to a professional paint and body shop, this is one of the reasons why it's expensive, is because that box of tape costs approximately $125. So that's an expense that has to be purchased along with the tape and everything else. So when you're looking at it at an aspect of, man, they sure charge a lot of money to paint the car. Well, you know, every little piece of tape adds up. Every item that is bought and purchased to paint your car adds up. And once again, if you're at home, you probably won't do it this way, because unless you do a lot of cars at your house, but more than likely, you won't even paint your car using this, but it's good knowledge to know other ways to do stuff. I want to cover that bolt right there too. Okay. So with our window rolled up and our jam tape, we're going to go ahead and close this door. And I see that the new rubber is keeping the door from closing properly, so let's go ahead and hit it a little harder. There we go. And I didn't roll the window up all the way. So with the window rolled up and everything's ready to go, let's go ahead and close this door. Now I got to give it a good hard slam, because this car's got brand new rubber. And there we go. The door jamb is taped off. Everything's ready to paint. And hopefully we won't get no overspray in our doors. So that's a couple possible ways for you to take your jambs off. This is the way that I do it. I use the foam tape but you can literally take this tape, and I think I made a video on that, and it's kind of a popular video. You can run the tape up, tape it on that edge, and roll the tape back around. That'll give you a semi-professional paint job. It works pretty well. I wouldn't say that it's going to be 100% flawless, but it does work. Another way you can do it is tape your complete jamb off and the inside of the door off using 2-inch tape. Very expensive. And when you do it that way, you're taking a chance that by the time you actually take the tape off the car, it's been on there so long that you have a chance of peeling the paint off the jam. So foam tape is really the way to go. If you can afford it, get it. And it also gives you a good tech tip of why getting a paint job leads into getting so expensive is because of stuff like this. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, showing you ways, tech tips, and telling you information to lead you down the right road of doing a successful job in life, no matter what it is. Always use your brain, keep your positive attitude, and be aware of everything going on. If it seems frustrating, if it seems like things are going wrong, walk away from it. Walk away from the situation at hand. Go relax, sit down, come back to it in an hour, a day, a week, all right? And I guarantee you everything will work out in the end. Speaking of the end, this is the end. We're gonna get this car taped off. I gotta get it painted today. It's Sunday, and I wanna get this out of my shop.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.